The restaurant was nearly empty that evening, the low hum of soft jazz filling the air as candlelight flickered across the polished tables. Jasmine Carter, a 32-year-old black waitress with tired eyes and calloused hands, moved quietly between the tables, balancing plates of food and trays of drinks. She had learned early that life demanded more than just showing up. It demanded resilience, patience, and a hidden strength no one could see at first glance. But tonight, something felt different. A man had entered the restaurant, impeccably dressed, exuding a confidence so strong it almost seemed unreal. He was the kind of millionaire whose presence could bend the room, whose wealth could be seen in the subtle shine of his watch, the tailored fit of his suit, and the rare, controlled smile he wore. Jasmine approached his table cautiously, her heart racing. She had served countless customers, some polite, some indifferent, and a few cruel. But this man had an air of challenge in his eyes, a silent test waiting to be taken. Without preamble, he leaned back in his chair, a smirk crossing his face, and asked her a question that would shake her world. "Can you serve me in Spanish?" His tone was mocking, almost like a dare, and he chuckled when he saw her pause. "If you can, I'll give you $100,000. For a moment, Jasmine froze, stunned not by the amount of money, but by the audacity of the request. She had been mocked before, underestimated constantly, yet she had something no one at this table could guess. She spoke 9 languages fluently, a gift she had painstakingly earned over the years through books, late-night practice, and a burning desire to understand the world beyond her own struggles. She took a steady breath, straightened her posture, and looked him in the eye. Without hesitation, she greeted him in perfect Spanish, each word flowing smoothly, confident, and polite. The smirk faded from his face, replaced by a flicker of genuine surprise, but he tried to hide it with another chuckle. Before the story unfolds further, if you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Every small gesture can change someone's world. As Jasmine took his order, her mind raced back to her journey. She had grown up in a modest neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia, where opportunities were scarce and judgments were plentiful. Her parents, Marcus and Ruth Carter, had always encouraged her to dream beyond what society expected of her. They instilled a love for learning, for languages, and for breaking barriers. But the world was not always kind, and despite her talents, doors often remained closed. Every day, Jasmine balanced the weight of student loans, family responsibilities, and the quiet sting of microaggressions in every workplace she entered. She had faced customers who assumed her place was only behind a counter, not in conversations that mattered, not in challenges that required intellect or skill. Yet, Jasmine had never allowed the mockery to define her. She had memorized grammar rules in French while carrying trays of steaming plates, practiced Mandarin during breaks, and perfected Italian pronunciation while cleaning tables. Each language was a step toward freedom, a shield against the prejudice she had endured. Still, life had a way of testing her resilience, and this millionaire was about to become the most unexpected test yet. As the evening progressed, Jasmine served him flawlessly, alternating between Spanish and English as needed, her calm demeanor hiding the storm of nerves and excitement swirling inside her. The man watched her closely, leaning back in his chair, his earlier arrogance slowly dissolving. He began to ask questions, not about the menu, but about her life, her interests, and how she had learned so many languages. Jasmine answered honestly, her words carrying a quiet dignity and unwavering pride. He listened, finally seeing the human story behind the uniform, behind the service, behind the judgments that had weighed her down for so long. The tipping point came when Jasmine noticed a subtle shift in his behavior. The mockery had disappeared, replaced by respect, then admiration, and finally, a profound sense of humility. It was as if he had been reminded of the world outside his wealth, the struggles that truly defined courage, and the incredible strength that could come from determination and education. By the time he finished his meal, he was no longer a detached millionaire challenging a waitress. He was a man confronted with the reality of talent and perseverance that he could no longer ignore. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a check, and slid it across the table. Jasmine's hands trembled slightly as she read the numbers. $100,000. But more than the money, it was the acknowledgement of her value, her intellect, and her dignity that struck her. Tears prickled at her eyes, not for the reward, but for the journey that had led her to this moment. She realized that every long night, every insult, every opportunity missed had prepared her for a moment where her abilities would finally shine through, unapologetically. The man spoke quietly, his voice sincere now. "I underestimated you. And I hope this helps you see that the world is bigger than the barriers people put in front of you." Jasmine nodded, a mixture of relief and empowerment washing over her. She had faced mockery, doubt, and prejudice countless times, yet she had risen above it all. Tonight, she had turned the tables, not with anger or revenge, but with skill, grace, and unwavering self-respect. After leaving the restaurant, Jasmine walked through the city streets under the soft glow of streetlights, the cool night air brushing against her face. She thought about how life could shift in an instant, how her years of quiet dedication had led to this single, transformative evening. She reflected on her parents' words, realizing they had been right: preparation meets opportunity, and courage often comes disguised as service. Jasmine decided to use her $100,000 not for extravagance, but to start a foundation that would teach underprivileged children the languages and skills that had changed her life. She envisioned classrooms filled with laughter, curiosity, and the promise of a future where talent and determination would be recognized, no matter where someone came from. Every language she had learned, every challenge she had endured, would now become a bridge for others, a tool to unlock doors that had long been closed. Her story spread slowly at first, shared by friends and local news, but soon, people across the United States began to hear about the black waitress who spoke 9 languages and had stood tall in the face of mockery and condescension. Emails poured in from students and families, all inspired by her resilience and the courage it took to speak up, even when the world doubted her. She realized that her journey, once lonely and exhausting, had become a beacon of hope for so many others struggling to be seen and recognized. Before we conclude this story, if Jasmine's courage and perseverance have touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this video. And if you feel moved, comment below with your thoughts or how this story inspires you. It means more than words can express. Jasmine's life had changed forever that night, not because of the money alone, but because she had refused to be defined by the judgments of others. She had transformed ridicule into recognition, mockery into opportunity, and fear into confidence. In the quiet moments after the restaurant had emptied, she understood something profound. True success isn't about wealth or recognition, it's about holding on to your dignity, your skills, and your heart, even when no one else believes in you. And in that moment, Jasmine knew that her journey was just beginning, and the world would never underestimate her again.